Alright, let's get into the Dyatlov Pass Incident. This story has been haunting people for decades, and for good reason. It's strange. The facts don't add up neatly, the official reports feel more confusing than clarifying, and every new theory seems to spark more questions than answers. So what really happened to those 9 Russian hikers who went missing in the Ural Mountains back in 1959? Picture this. It's late January. A group of students and one older hiker set out on a certified Category 3 trek that's as tough as it gets in the frozen wilderness. We're talking deep snow, biting cold, and howling winds. The lead is Igor Dyatlov, and his friends are the kind of folks who write diaries and take photos along the way, not really the type to panic easily. A couple of the hikers fell ill and turned back before the worst of it, probably for the best. The rest? They set up camp on the slope of a mountain called Kolatsyakal, ominously known as Dead Mountain in the native language. After that night, no one saw them alive again. When rescuers eventually found the camp weeks later, what they discovered basically wrote the playbook for unsolved mysteries. The hiker's tent was slashed open from the inside. Their gear, boots, and winter clothes were still inside, but the group had run half-dressed into the snowy forest. Why would experienced hikers do that? Things only got creepier from there. They found some of the hikers frozen to death near a forest edge, barefoot, dressed only in their underwear, classic signs of paradoxical undressing, which happens in extreme hypothermia. You feel so hot, you tear your clothes off, but that only speeds up death. But here's the kicker. Other hikers found a bit later and deeper in the woods had massive injuries, broken ribs, skull fractures that some investigators compared to car crash trauma. 2 of them were missing eyes, and one woman was missing her tongue. Oh, and get this, traces of radiation were found on their clothes, too. People quickly started speculating avalanche? Maybe, but there wasn't enough major snow displacement, and the tent wasn't exactly buried. Plus, why would they cut the tent from the inside and run towards danger instead of away? Some say it was a military secret gone wrong, like a missile test or something nuclear, given the radiation. But official reports kind of brushed off the radiation bit as not that much. Then there are wild theories: Yeti, aliens, government conspiracy. Most of those just sound like late-night campfire talk, but honestly, given the details, I get why people jump to those ideas. Back in 2019, a new Russian investigation swung back to the avalanche theory, sort of a slab avalanche, where a chunk of snow slides under the surface, maybe in a way that doesn't leave much trace behind. This could explain why they needed to escape the tent fast. Even some modern researchers used computer modeling and suggested wind patterns, topography, and snowpack lined up for something freaky that night. Still, it doesn't fit the injuries or explain the missing body parts very well. There is also the so-called infrasound theory, a special kind of wind vortex that could produce low-frequency sound waves, making people super anxious or even hallucinatory. That could convince a group to flee into the cold in a panic, but it's a bit of a stretch. Hypothermia is the likely cause of death for most of them. But what caused them to dash out into that deadly cold half-naked is still a mystery. Some say an avalanche startled them and they couldn't get back inside. Others say maybe a fight broke out, but there was no sign of violence between the hikers themselves. In the end, nobody can say for sure what killed those 9 hikers on Dead Mountain. If you're looking for a clear answer, you're out of luck. Most people settle on a weird mix of causes: a possible avalanche scare, followed by hypothermia, with the injuries coming from either falling into a ravine or tumbling in the chaos. What gets me is how every aspect of the case feels just a little off. The way the tent was found, the injuries, the lack of footprints other than their own, the fact that some were more undressed than others but stuck together in a group. Even today, people go to Dyatlov Pass to see the place for themselves, some hoping to solve it, most just fascinated by a mystery that refuses to fade away. So what killed 9 hikers at Dyatlov Pass? Nature, paranoia, sheer bad luck? Pick your theory, because honestly, no one knows for sure. That's what keeps this story alive. The sense that after all these years, the mountain still isn't giving up its secrets.